Call of Duty has lost millions of players and is now under 100 million since the release of Warzone. And as a player of Warzone, I think there are some clear reasons as to why this is the case. But of course, I want to hear what your reasoning is. Why do you think Warzone is not necessarily dying, but they're losing all of these players? Let me know after the video down in the comment section below. If this is your first time stopping by, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting your notifications so you never miss a video from me. Let's go ahead and get into it. You know, Warzone has a lot of issues, but let's be honest, this whole thing started with Verdansk. I refuse to believe that Activision could not see the issues or could not fix these issues in time. And if they couldn't, they were very negligent in the way they handled the cheating issue in Verdansk. This is not some off-the-wall third-party developer we're talking about. We're talking about Activision. And so they've been around for so long, I refuse to believe also that they could not see that their game could be exploited so easily. So almost every time you would jump into a match in Verdansk, it was overshadowed by this cheating issue, and almost every single game you got into for a long period of time, it was nothing but cheating. So what we would get is these issues from Activision like, hey, we banned 50,000 accounts, but you can make, 100,000 just like that to replace the 50 you just banned. It was really negligent on their part. And to be honest with you, it almost made me feel like these guys really don't give a shit about the player base at all. So that's where this started. So then you take a modern warfare game, which I think most people are into the modern experience. Not myself included, because I love World War II, but regardless, you take that experience, you promise Ricochet and promise that the cheating will be under control with the next game. We promise with the next game. And so this is going to be a theme, by the way. And so your next game is a World War II experience where people aren't as excited about it, and a map that is really part of the biggest issue here. This is a climbing simulator with guns. That's pretty much what I equate it to. You have rocks, you have cliffs, you have a mountain, you have various things you have to climb over. And I don't know if y'all remember, but when this game first came out, you literally, your ability to jump up was neutered compared to what it is now. Oh my God, was it hard to kind of navigate all of the cliffs and the rocks and stuff. It was even worse than what it is now, and it's still bad. So this map and the way it's laid out is absolutely, it's just terrible, and it's not fun. And they've done some things to counter it, like the redeployable balloons, which is great. But still, nonetheless, the map does not have the same staying power as Verdansk did. And you have a map where they've now made less vegetation. So it's twofold. You have a tropical map. Obviously, there's going to be trees, vegetation, all of that, right? And some places in this map feel very wide open. And then they took some of the vegetation away, like 50%, I think they said. So now it feels even more wide open, but you have less places to get to cover. Like, they've added some buildings here and there, but there's not enough cover to move around the map. And if you don't have a redeployable balloon, sometimes you could just be annihilated and you don't even know where the shots are coming from. You're on the ground before you even know what's happening. And that can be an issue, especially for casual players. And that's what I'm going to talk about next, man. SBMM. Man, it can make this game either super fun or very frustrating. And most of the time, it's the latter. Now, let's say you're somebody like most of the population, you have a job, or you go to school, or both. So you're at work most of the day. You come home, you want to play some COD with your friends at night. Well, nighttime, between 8 and 10 generally, is the sweatiest time to play this game. And that's when most people have the time to play this game. So it can literally be the most sweaty time of the day, and that's the only time you have to play. And when you want to sit down and play a game, most people want to have fun with that game. They don't want to feel like they're in a competition every time they start up the game. And they certainly don't have the time to put in to learn all of these skills quick enough to be competitive inside of the game. They literally just want to pop the disc in, play, and have a fun time. But, SBMM could work, but it's just the gap, the player gap is so far spread apart. You have people that are in the, a little bit over 1 KD, which is, a little bit above average maybe, that are being put with, 2, 3, and 4 KD players. It's just not fun. So for the average player, I can see how this game is super frustrating. I get frustrated, and I'm consistently running over a 2 KD from week to week now. But I had to dedicate a shit ton of time and energy into improving my movement, and I'm still not where I need to be fully. So I can imagine for somebody that doesn't have the time to put into those skills, Jesus, I could just imagine how frustrating this game can really be for some. And then you have a game with a TTK that is so quick. Now, again, they've tried to do counters. You have Serpentine, which is a great perk. As frustrating as that can be on your side when you're shooting somebody with Serpentine, you have to have things like that in this game because the TTK is just insanely quick in this game. Too quick in this game, in my opinion. So that can, again, lead to frustration. Then you have your meta. So you had guns like the Bren. You had like the Planes. You have all of these different guns that stay meta for so long that you're almost penalized if you don't use those guns. And that shouldn't be the case. The game should be balanced enough, kind of from the get-go, where you can essentially use whatever you want and still be competitive. And I understand to an extent why they do this, because it kind of gives you, an ever-changing ebbs and flow type of meta like this, keeps things kind of fresh. But again, if I want to use, whatever gun that may be, I shouldn't be penalized for that because another gun is just so powerful that I don't really stand a chance against it. Now, here's another area where they have said, basically, guys, just wait till the next game. I promise you in the next game it's going to be better. And it's not cheating this time, but it's the overall experience. So I've noticed, with the sniper rifle changes, right? You had the car and the switch. 2 best snipers. That's pretty much what people used. Well, now they have the HDR and the AX50 from Modern Warfare, the game from 2 years ago, which are the best snipers in the game. Okay, kind of, I don't understand it, but okay. Then you have guns like the Kilo, one of the best guns in the game right now. So it's almost like they're saying, guys, let's just get past this Vanguard experience. Let's just, let's make Modern Warfare relevant in our World War II game. So hopefully we can get those players back somehow. So it's always kind of like this, we promise the next game. The next game is going to be better. The next game isn't going to have cheating. The next game is going to just be a better overall experience. It really doesn't say a lot for the map and the mode and the time period that they created with Vanguard and Caldera. And I almost feel like with the back to the guns for a second, if you look at the gun list from World War II a few years ago, there are way more guns in that game than there is in this one. And I think what they kind of do, and I can't substantiate this is just my thought and opinion, is they say, we have all these Cold War and Modern Warfare guns. We're just going to kind of use that as a buffer so we don't have to bring out as many guns as possible. And let's just kind of scoot this Vanguard Caldera thing along here. Let's get it over as quick as we can. And so let's wrap this up with this. You have certain things in the game that, again, to a casual player are very frustrating, and I can imagine lead people to turning this game off quick. Now, I guess it just depends on who you are. If you're not very competitive, but you just like to kind of play, well, then maybe you don't really mind these things. But you have things like stuns. Okay, stuns have been in the game. They'll continue to be in the game, and I use stuns. But, if you have somebody that's running restock, which, what is that perk? Like every 20 or 30 seconds, it literally restocks you with stuns or snapshot grenades. Dude, how do you combat against? Battle Hardened isn't going to be your counter to that Because Battle Hardened, you're going to save like 1 second from not being stunned. You can't do anything in 1 second. If somebody is running, stuns with restock, let's say they stun you once. Well, they have another one, right? They run up on you. You finally get over that stun animation. Then they just toss another one. Boom, you're dead. It's so... I feel like there's too many things that don't have a really good counter. Restock needs to be nerfed way down. Snapshot grenades, they nerf the heartbeat. It's still, pretty powerful tool. Stuns. And I'm not saying get rid of these things. I'm not, but I'm saying it shouldn't be so one-sided towards, one play style or the other, I guess. I'm kind of conflicted on this, but I think for sure nerfing restock and making that time significantly more than what it is, at least a minute or two. There needs to be a counter to the lethals, tacticals, and perks you have in the game. There has to be a good counter for each. It can't just be so one-sided, and I truly believe in that. I can remember, if you have somebody running a riot shield with stuns and restock, how the hell do you combat against that? I mean, you have to keep your distance. I did a video recently showing how to deal with riot shielders, and somebody made a good point. It's like, dude, every riot shielder I come across has stuns. So how do you combat against that? And it really is tough. I mean, you have to play a song and dance with them just to be able to win that fight. It is almost... with a good player, with somebody that runs shields really well, it is almost undefendable. Honestly, dude. And so fortunately, you don't run into them that often. But at the same time, when you do, my goodness, it's just frustrating. I think the balance is really an issue. Some things are way overpowered. Other things, no counter for seemingly. I think these are a bunch of clear reasons why this game is not, like I said, dying, but why people are leaving this game. Now, are the numbers going to come up when Modern Warfare 2 drops? Yep. When Warzone 2 drops, are more players going to come back? Yep. But I think this is an important lesson, and I hope to God Activision and these guys pay attention because, they will continue to do the same thing over and over the more people are playing. And I'm guilty of this too. I played all throughout the cheating and Verdansk. I still bought the game. I still bought some of the Battle Pass crap and, some of the stuff in the store. And I continue to do the same thing. So I'm guilty of this as well. Don't take me the wrong way here. But when we can hurt them in the pockets, and again, I don't want this game to die. I enjoy this game. I enjoy knowing what it could be as well. It could be way better. But regardless, when you hurt them, when you hit them where it hurts, and that being their pockets, which I think is what they essentially only care about, then hopefully they will take some of this criticism and actually apply the changes to fix it and not make it seem like, you have to buy the next game in order to receive the benefits. And it seems like a ass backwards way of doing things. And I'm sorry, the Call of Duty name, it's huge and you're going to get sales because of it, but you can't keep doing this forever and expecting that people will keep coming back to your game. Eventually, if you don't listen to the people that literally make your game what it is, eventually you're going to fall flat on your face. And it's going to fail at some point. So, like I said, I hope it doesn't get to that point. Hopefully, they will take some of this advice and actually apply it, not in their next game, but now, and continuing and moving forward to fix some of these things. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. I'd love to hear what your opinion is about this game down below. Why is it losing millions of players? Let me know, and make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit your notifications so you never miss a video from me. I will see you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.